I could finally stop watching this trailer because it finally came out. The Fall Guy. Should you fall for this movie? Let's find out. Chase Lee Hockey here with the Blue Futon reviewing the Fall Guy 4DX. That's the Aaron Taylor Johnson Matthew McConaughey, because he does a Matthew McConaughey. I want to say he's making fun of Matthew McConaughey, but I could be wrong. But I also think they're making fun of Dune because of the Dune score and everything like that. Anyway, I'm not going to say what's about. Pretty simple premise, because everyone, if you've seen a single movie in the past 3 to 4 months, you've seen this trailer. Ryan Gosling finds a dead body. Now he's got to figure out what's going on because he's just a stuntman. But 4DX, let's talk about that. For the 4DX for the stunts, pretty good. Not a lot of wind effects, not a lot of water effects, some smoke effects because you are in the desert and a lot of sand is coming up. But yeah, the chairs move pretty solidly. Nothing is chaotic though. Nothing is like shaking like anime, but it was good subtle movements like oh, then good swirling of the chairs. So it was a fun experience for 4DX. Don't expect bombasticness because you won't get it in this film. But if you want a good small-esque roller coaster when watching a stuntman film, then I think 4DX will be for you. Like I said though, not a lot of water, not a lot of wind, decent amount of smoke, but good chair movements overall. So did I like this experience? I think it's a good movie. This is a straight up love letter to the people behind the camera doing the stunt works. You can even say like the publicists. You could even say like the sound people, the pyrotechnicians, people that are helping make a movie, the VFX artists. Like they're like, yeah, the director has a lot on their plate, and it does talk about that, but it does make fun of actors a lot in this movie about how pretentious they are, and also maybe some producers as well for overstepping their bounds for who should actually make the movie. Should it be the director? Should it be the producer? Because yes, the producer does get the funds, but it's the director's vision. So there's a lot of interesting lingo when it comes to that in this movie. So you come to this movie, though, about stunts because it's about stunt action. And I think it's good. There is an issue with, I've noticed with stunts and VFX nowadays, they mesh a little bit too much. What do I mean by that? Okay, let's look at the Mission Impossible movies where Tom Cruise jumps out of it, does the heel jumps, or when he does the not paragliding, but yeah, the wingsuit when jumping off the mountain. Amazing. But when you add VFX to it to try to enhance it, it kind of diminishes from the real stunt. So when he does the heel jump, it's freaking awesome. But when you add him going through like thunder clouds, that diminishes the real stunt. Here, I felt some of that same angst to the movie. And what I mean by that, you see the scene in the trailer where he's with the dog and he's like, embrace your core, and he jumps it. And you're thinking, that looks a little bit CGI-esque. But then during the credits, there's actually like a Jackie Chan stunt reel of them showing them doing the real stunts. And you're like, oh shit, that's real. The same thing with the trash compactor kind of thing, where you're like, okay, that is real. But the problem is Fast 5 did it way better with the bank vault because they did such little VFX after that it wasn't diminishing from it. I feel like they added a lot of VFX in this one to like help with the post-production, and it really hindered the experience because it's okay, yeah, the Stephanie Shu part, yeah, a lot of it was VFX, a lot of it was blue screen. Like I said, I'm going to go back to Fast 5 because Fast 5 is the one that does the greatest in the Brazil scene, where you're like, that's a real truck underneath the vault doing that, and they are really doing it with very few VFX. Yes, there's also a pretty badass stunt in the end, jumping this, car over a valley, some Evel Knievel stuff. Pretty sweet. But then, that is the one stunt, though, where they really didn't add VFX, and I appreciated it. So every time there was a stunt in this movie, even a minimal one of falling off a balcony, one falling on a couch, and one falling on the ground, every time it was less VFX, I was truly enjoying this movie. Kind of like, the John Wicks. You can say, yeah, the last John Wick where he was doing the circles in Paris, yeah, that was pretty CGI-esque, and I didn't appreciate that as much as other stuff with Donnie Yen. But that's, like I said, I do miss just, like, minimal VFX to a point. And they even say that with, Emily Blunt's character kind of in the beginning of the movie. She's like, no, I don't want VFX. And then the producer at the end is like, no, we could do this in VFX. So like I said, there is a, a push-pull with this movie as well, where it's kind of talking about it metally, but then when you're watching the movie, you're like, but you're doing some VFX for this shot that really doesn't need it, or just be realistic as much as you can. Especially the cool, like, jump coming off the helicopter. But there was a really bad CGI helicopter scene going through this valley that was pretty bad VFX. Which I understand. Some of it you can't do to a T, but like I said, when you're doing a stuntman movie, I want very, very minimal VFX. Ryan Gosling, Emily Blunt does awesome. Emily Blunt, she's in Edge of Tomorrow, so you know she could do her shit, and she does it right. Ryan Gosling, this Stunts reminds me of, even though that's a very CGI heavy movie as well, The Gray Man or Place Beyond the Pines with the motorcycle scene. So I think Ryan Gosling knows how to do what he's doing correctly, and I don't think he is scared to actually do some of the stunts himself. Is there closure in this movie? Absolutely. Aaron Taylor Johnson also does a great job as well, like playing the fake Matthew McConaughey. The script, been there, done that. You kind of know the love story. You kind of know what's going to occur. I do like the opening credits. I thought that was the most fun opening credits scene I've seen in quite some time. It is edited extremely well. When there are action set pieces, it's not edited. There's not a lot of cut scenes, so I do like that. The score, like I said, I think the score is making fun of Dune when Emily Blunt's movie is being made in the Metal Storm, rock, rock, rock. But yeah, overall, some people are like loving it. Some people are saying it's falling flat. I do think it's a solid movie that if you want a good stunt, a stunt conversation to get Oscar talks of like, should the stunt choreograph or stunt coordinator be the people that get the Oscars? I do think there needs to be a stunt category through and throughout. If there's one for some like short film, I hate to say it, like short film or, short live action, short animated, but we don't have one for stunts, there's something wrong overall. But I do think if you want a fun, just silliness of an action movie, it's hard to go wrong with The Fall Guy. So The Fall Guy will receive a 4 out of 5 Futons, which equals that 80%. So see the critics' news scores gave this one. So critics were at an 86 to 125 of them. No audience score yet, but critic consensus with action, comedy, romance, and a pair of marvelously matched stars, The Fall Guy might be the rare mainstream movie with something to entertain everyone. I could agree with that. So let's go with that. 8680 Chase Lehock here at the Blue Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. One more thing is Bhutontopia. You Bhutoners think watch a great day. Don't forget to stay tomorrow, week from now, month, or a year from now. Every single freaking one of you. Peace and love. Enjoy life. And did you like The Fall Guy, or are you a Fall Guy? Yeah, I'm kind of the Fall Guy, but not with stunts, just in general.